just because I'm talking to Simon doesn't mean I'm not talking to you. So it's one of these things where as a group, we can use this one-on-one interaction with Simon, but what you're doing while I'm talking to Simon is you're participating just as much as Simon is. So we're all going on this exploration together. It's just it seems like I'm talking to Simon, but I'm talking to you. Okay, I'm talking to everyone. Okay, you can put it that way, right? So then if I say, okay, well, Simon, who are you? Then what's your question? What's your answer to that question?
I would say I'm a spiritual being here having a human experience.
Okay. It's a nice cliche line that we've probably read somewhere or heard somewhere. It sounds very nice, right?
Yeah.
But okay, so that's just a nice quote that you read somewhere. But then let's discard that. So that's something that you've read, but who are you?
Such a difficult question. There's so many levels to
it. Sorry, say that again.
There's so many levels to it. There's the Simon Lang that I identify with, the son, the brother, the person in Melbourne, all of those things.
Right.
But there's also, I feel like I'm wearing a shell and I'm experiencing things here in this form, but not truly who I am. Who I am is a much bigger picture.
Okay. So that's good. But
I can't experience that as such. I'm familiar with the concept and the idea, and I feel like it's there, but I haven't really deeply experienced that.
Okay. Yeah. And this is something where this is where we have to we're letting go of all these things that we've learned and heard, because even a lot of that, it's all conceptual. It's a shell, or there's all these other things that I'm attached to, but that's not really me. But I've heard from other people that they're saying, oh, you're more than just a brother or just a son. There's more to you than meets the eye, or there's another aspect of you that you're totally unaware of, right? So what we can do is we can just look at these things as, okay, well, do you believe that you're the body?
No.
Okay.
The body, but I don't believe that's who I am.
Okay. Do you believe that you're the mind? No? Okay. So you're okay if we just kind of slice and dice that body?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Is there something that makes you feel like you're limited to just this form?
In this time and space, yes. I feel like I'm confined to this.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that. Because of that, that's the case. Then there is a belief that you're the body. There is a belief that you're the mind. There's a belief that you're this physical something here, and sometimes that belief is very unconscious.
Yes.
Right. It's unconscious until you experience that. Oh, well, maybe I'm not. Right. But it's basically. Yeah. That's kind of this feeling. Are you experiencing life as that you're you're separate from life? Obviously you do, because you said, I need to find out my part in the universe. What's my part in the universe?
Yeah.
So you're experiencing. Go ahead.
I feel like a witness. A lot of the time to life.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm observing.
Good.
And I definitely get attached to beliefs and emotions and all those things often.
Okay.
But as time goes by, I'm getting less attached to those things, and just being more conscious and aware without attaching to everything and anything.
Okay, good. So a nice way to kind of go about this is to find out what I am. Let's find out what I'm not.
Yeah.
So it's almost like this revealing or removing process. We're removing one by one to see what's not essential here, because I want to find out what I am. That must be the essence. That must be essential. Right? So we're just going to simply just remove everything that I'm not. So we'll start off with something like the body, which is, you could say it's gross, not as gross as yucky, but gross as in it's like it's obvious. It's very apparent, right? So this body, has it been the same body? Has it been consistent throughout your entire life? Has it been changeless?
No.
Has it always been here?
Yes.
Okay. But has it been changeless? Does your
No.
body change? So your body's changing. Obviously, when you were born, the body was this big, and then now it's this big, right? So obviously it's changing, right? And I think there's like, I don't, it's, I don't want to lean on it, but there's, some people that say like after whatever 5 years, 7 years, the body is completely brand new. Every single cell in the body after let's just say 5 years is completely brand new, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, if I actually am the body, do I feel completely brand new? Do I completely feel like brand new after in 5 years? No.
No.
Right? But it's obviously changing. It's this process. Even right now, like every second, there's like, let's say like 1,000 cells, more than 1,000 cells that are dying and being reborn every second. Right? But that's not my experience. I don't feel like that's happening to me. Right? So we see this body is constantly changing. We see that the body is not always here now. It's appearing and disappearing. So this is a tricky one, because then you say, well, now I'm looking at my hand and that's here. It's not appearing and disappearing. But when you look at it in our experience, well, this is just the waking state, the waking experience, the experience of this waking state. Then there's an experience of the dream state, and there's an experience of the deep sleep state. So if we look at this physical body, we're only experiencing it in one of those states. Because after you're experiencing this physical body in this waking state, then you go to sleep and you start dreaming, and then you actually experience a dream body. So this physical body actually disappears. And then in deep sleep, you're not experiencing any body. So you could see how you're experiencing this physical body, then you experience a dream body, and then you experience no body. So you're in your experience, you're actually experiencing the appearance and disappearance of this physical body. Are you not?
Yeah, that's true.
Right? In deep sleep, do you experience any body?
No.
No. Right? So even in the dream state, are you experiencing the physical body, or do you not experience some other body that maybe you fly sometimes, or maybe it's, it looks a little different, or something's different?
Yeah,
Right?
no, the dream state.
Right. Okay. So that's showing you that the body, it's changing and it's appearing and disappearing. It's coming and going. Right? It's here right now in this waking state, but I said once you fall asleep, it goes. Right? So now let's move on. So that's the physical body. Right? We can look at some other kind of things. We can look into this. If you think that you're the body, then it's like, well, whereabouts are you in the body? Are you somewhere behind the eyes? Are you in the heart? Are you in the chest? Are you somewhere in the head, pulling a bunch of levers, pushing buttons, trying to control this big thing like a robot? Are you wearing the same clothes up here somewhere smaller? Is there like a mini me that's wearing the blue shirt up here in the head?
Yeah.
So whereabouts are you?
Yeah, that's hard to define. But I'd say somewhere in the head.
Okay. somewhere in the head. And a lot of people think like the mind and the head, it's the same area, right? So somewhere in the head. So then let's look at like the mind. What do we know about the mind? It's basically thoughts and feelings, sense perceptions, right? So let's start off with feelings. The feelings, have you ever felt the exact same thing throughout your entire life?
No.
You've never been angry your entire life, have you? You've never been sad your entire life. So every feeling, every emotion that we feel, it's changing. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad, sometimes you're angry, sometimes you're depressed, sometimes you're jealous, sometimes you're ashamed, sometimes you're guilty, right? These different emotions that are always changing, they're changing. These emotions are coming and going, right? You almost feel them build up like, I'm getting kind of angry. I'm getting kind of impatient. I'm getting frustrated, right? It's like you feel them coming in. You feel them building up. And then you also feel them release, or you feel them go away, right? Sometimes they stay a little longer. And this is what we say, like, I'm stuck in a mood, right? I've been sad for the last 3-4 days, right? Or I'm experiencing this grief, say after like a relationship, or you lose a business, or you lose a house or a pet or something. Any form of loss is grief, right? Then I don't know, just after the whole last week, I've been just kind of something that I lost something. I'm feeling kind of down in the dumps. But that even that goes. It's just an experience, right? So showing you again that the feelings or the emotions, they're also changing, they're also appearing and disappearing, they're also coming and going. And then let's look at, so that was body we looked at, feelings we looked at. Now let's look at thoughts. So thoughts, have you thought the same thing your entire life? Is there one thought that you can basically think all the time?
No.
No. So obviously you're experiencing thoughts that are changing. Obviously you're seeing that thoughts are coming and going. They're arising, they're falling, they're appearing and disappearing. If I say, okay, just whatever you do, Simon, just don't think about a monkey. Now, instantly you're thinking about a monkey right now. So now if I say, think about a baseball, now you're thinking about a baseball. So you're seeing right now in your experience that this thought is changing. That the thought of the monkey appeared and then it disappeared. And then there was a thought of a baseball that appeared and then that disappeared. Right? So you're seeing that again. The thoughts are appearing and disappearing, coming and going and changing. So what's left? What are we missing? You might say memory, right? But isn't memory just thoughts? It's just an accumulation of thoughts. So we're looking for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing that everything that we're looking for that we thought to be you was the body, but we're saying, oh no, the body's changing, the body's coming and going, the body's appearing and disappearing. That's not solid. That's not like consistent, because this sense of I seems very consistent, does it not?
Yes.
When I say you, like when you say I is the most used word for everyone.
Yeah. I want, I need.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but we're looking for, where is this I? And we're seeing, well, it's not the body because that's not consistent. We're seeing the feelings, well, that's not consistent either. And we're seeing the thoughts, that's not consistent either. It's not this constant that's unbroken. The sense of I that we have has been consistent. It's constant. It's unbroken. Yet what we're looking at our experience, And we're seeing the body. Well, that's broken. It's here and then it's not here. The feelings. Well, that's here and then it's not here. The thoughts. It's here and then it's not here. The five senses. Well, those are changing. Those are appearing and disappearing. Those are coming and going. So is there anything else that we're missing, that we're not looking? Because in terms of our experience of life, this is it. That's the experience of life summed up. The experience of the body, the experience of feelings or emotions, thoughts, and sense perceptions. Because that's what you're experiencing, what you say is this reality. Well, you're only knowing about this reality through your sense of seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching. So we're looking for you. Now, can you see that we're looking everywhere, but we can't find you?
Yeah. It's I think it's something.
What is that? What is that feeling right now? What are you experiencing
right now?
Yeah.
In terms of what?
Well, we're going on this adventure together. We're exploring, and I'm saying, well, let's look for you. And I got a big flashlight out, and you're holding my hand, standing right next to me. But we're looking for you. Right. We're looking for the I.
Yeah.
The I that you take yourself to be. You start off. Say it again.
Are we looking in the place? Are we looking in the wrong place? Is there an I?
Okay. But so we're looking in the wrong place, and I'm saying we looked in every place there is.
Yeah.
Otherwise, give me a place to look and we'll look. Yeah, we looked in the body, we looked in the mind, we looked in the feelings, emotions, we looked in the sense perceptions. And I'm saying that's it.
And none of those things have worked out. So maybe we need to go inside.
Mm-hmm. So
and meditate on it.
So we're noticing that everything is changing. We're noticing that everything is appearing and disappearing. And all those things that we just listed. Mm-hmm. There hasn't been anything that's constant. There hasn't been anything that's changeless. And we're seeing that it's not there. It's like we're uncovering rocks. Am I here? No. Am I here? No. Am I here? No. Am I here? No. So we looked in, let's say, those 4 places. And those are the only 4 places that we can look. Mm-hmm. And we looked and we couldn't find it. So now there might be some sort of like panic or fear arising, like, where the heck am I? I'm missing. Does it feel like you're missing?
No.
Where's the sense of I then?
Maybe it doesn't exist.
Okay. Well, it doesn't exist as what you think it exists as.
Yeah.
Because you're looking for like something like solid. This is the me. You're looking for like me as a person. But we just listed all these things that actually make up a person. The body, the feelings, the thoughts, the sense perceptions. That's a person in a nutshell. And we're seeing how all those things are actually changing. So the person is actually a process. The person is an activity. It's a movement. We think that it's something solid. We think that it's something constant. When we say this me, this I, this is constant. Well, the I is constant, but the me is not constant. Me as a separate entity is not constant. Me as a separate entity doesn't exist. But what is actually noticing that everything is changing? What is it that knows that the body is changing? What is it that's aware that the body is appearing and disappearing, coming and going? What is it that is aware of feelings that are coming and going, changing? What is it that knows that thoughts are appearing and disappearing, coming and going, changing? What is it that is aware of the five senses always changing, the perceptions always changing?
Is that a question?
Yeah, that's a question. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to define that. I don't know.
Okay. So is there something? Is there something that's aware of all this?
Well, I think the mind's aware of it.
Okay. But we said that the mind is thoughts, feelings, perceptions, and all of those are changing.
Yeah.
What is watching all of this change? What's watching the body change? What's watching feelings change? What's watching the five senses change? What's watching thoughts change? What's observing? What's observing all of that?
So your consciousness or your awareness.
Okay. Yeah. So the awareness, but you said your awareness. So there's two things. There's the you and there's awareness. So, okay, there's the awareness, but where are you? Because that's what we were looking for, but we couldn't find you.
Yeah. So just awareness.
So just awareness. Because we looked in under all those four rocks.
Yeah.
The body, the feelings, the mind, thoughts, sense perceptions. Those are the four rocks we just lifted up. And we're saying, where are you? Not there. 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 But what is it that's observing this exploration?
Just awareness.
Yeah. It's not you as a person that's doing this exploration. Because the exploration is awareness exploring. And it's exploring that the person is a process. It's an activity. It's always changing. It's fluctuating. It's inconsistent. It's temporary. But this awareness, does this awareness come and go? Have you ever experienced awareness being absent?
No.
No. Have you ever been unaware where this awareness just kind of said, okay, hold on, time out. Give me 5 minutes and I'll be back. And then left and then came back 5 minutes later? No. So this awareness is unbroken. This awareness is consistent. It's constant. Were you aware on your 10th birthday? Yes. Were you aware at the start of this conversation? Yes. Are you aware right now? Yes. Notice how it's the same awareness right now as it was at the start of the conversation, as it was on your 10th birthday. That awareness has not changed at all. Now, notice what you refer to yourself as I. That I that you refer to yourself as, that also has been consistent. It has this feeling that it's constant. Now, could it be that this I is actually awareness?
Possibly.
Possibly. Okay. So this I is getting mixed up with the experience. So remember, we just explored our experience, the body we experience, feelings we experience, thoughts we experience, the five senses, sense perceptions we experience. So that's our experience. So I is getting identified with the body. I am male. I am a son. This is a role, an identity. I am, enter your job title. I am, enter what you're passionate about, a gardener, a musician. I think in your bio it said nomad. I am a that's a label. So all these labels, they are also temporary because you weren't always a nomad.
No.
Right? So see how they're easily just stuck on like a sticker, nomad. Right? Yeah. And the I is actually, it's being put onto the I. So when we remove all of these things, the body, the feelings, right? Notice how the feeling, I am angry. Anger is what you are experiencing. The I is experiencing anger, but the I is not anger. You've experienced anger in your life, and you might have said, I am angry. That's how we just talk about it. I am angry. But you have to discern to say, well, I am not angry. I experience anger. Anger is the emotion that was not here, but then is here, and then is not here. It comes and it goes. But the I was here before anger, here during anger, and here after anger. Can you see how one thing is temporary and the other is permanent? The anger is temporary. But the I, the awareness of anger, the awareness is permanent. The awareness is constant. The anger is like, it's transient, it's intermittent. I am a son. A son is just a label. What's a label? Words. What are words? Just thoughts. So this I is then identifying with a thought. So you can see how this I is what you are, but then it's like things are getting stuck to it. It's attaching to things. I'm the body. I'm angry. I'm a sun. I am cold, right? Sense perceptions. So we just uncovered these rocks looking for, well, where is this I? And we never found it under those rocks. But I said, well, what was observing this whole search? What was observing this whole exploration? And you said, well, my awareness. I said, okay, well, yes, there's awareness, but you're saying my awareness. So there's two. There's me and awareness. And I'm saying we were just looking for you. We were looking for that me, but we never found the me. But what did we find? We found awareness. And are you able to see that everything that you took yourself to be is not what you are? Or is there any doubt? Is there any like thing that doesn't seem like, I don't know, let's look under that rock again? We can, for sure, because that's how it needs to be crystal clear. It needs to be like, I didn't really get a good look under that rock. Can we look again? Can we really explore that just a little slower? You shine the light under that rock again and really look, just in case it was hiding. Maybe the me was somewhere else. Or do we have enough innate feeling that this I that I was referring to myself as I when I was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 years old, all the way up. This I has been constant. This I has been constant. And what I consider my life has always been just an experience, one after the other. This is what life is just experience, one after the other. What is it that is aware of the experiences? You would say, well, me. But not me as a person. What's aware of the experience is awareness itself. See that there's an experience, just even right now, the experience of seeing, the experience of hearing, right? Let's just keep it at that. There's an experience of obviously the body being in the chair and all this other stuff. But there's that experience, and that experience, well, how is that even possible for that experience to happen? Because of awareness. Could there be an experience without awareness? Could you experience this conversation if it wasn't for the fact that you're aware of it?
No.
No. So showing that this awareness is fundamental for experience to even exist. And just observe your entire life as just experiences. And what is it that's fundamental to all those experiences? Because we know that each experience is temporary. It came and then it went. It appeared and then it disappeared. You had the experience of eating dinner last night. Where is it now? It's gone. Your 10th birthday, you had that experience, but where is it now? It's gone. But the awareness, is that gone? Does that come and go? Is that changing? No. So see that the awareness has been running through the entire life, your life as you see it as that, and it's been constant. It's been unbroken. It's been consistent. You've never experienced it end. Yet you experience your dinner ending from last night. You experience your birthday ending from when you're 10. See that you're experiencing endings of everything. But you've never experienced an ending of awareness. See that you've experienced startings, starting of the birthday, starting of a new relationship, starting of a new job, the ending of a new job, the ending of a relationship, starting living in somewhere, and then you move, the ending of living there. So every experience has a start and an end. Every experience has a duration. But this awareness, have you experienced a starting to it? When did this awareness start? You don't remember it starting, do you? No. No. But see how the body has a start. The body has an end. The feeling has a start. The feeling has an end. A thought has a start. The thought has an end. All the sense perceptions have starts. All the sense perceptions has ends. All those things are changing. But the awareness that's aware of all of that, does that change? Does the awareness that was aware of the 10th birthday, the first relationship, the first job, does that awareness feel different than the awareness that is present here now, aware of this conversation? Feels the same, doesn't it? What about the sense of I? The sense of I that was present at the 10th birthday, experiencing the first relationship, experiencing the first job, that I, that sense of I, doesn't that feel like the same sense of I that's here now, present, experiencing this conversation?
I'm not sure if it does.
Okay. What feels different about that sense of I?
Sense of I is diminished.
The sense of I is. Uh-oh, it just broke out. What did you say?
The sense of I has diminished as I've got older.
Okay. So if I say, are you here now? What do you say?
I am.
You are. Yeah. Are you present?
Yeah.
So you're present. You're here now.
Yes.
So you're saying it diminished. Where, like, diminished to what? Nothing?
I don't associate with it as much as I used to, perhaps.
Okay. So let's just try and help here. What are you not associating with? Are you not associating perhaps maybe with the story of Simon? Perhaps you're not associating with the personality of Simon. Perhaps you're not associating with the likes and the dislikes of Simon. Yeah, the tendencies.
Yeah, probably just being more aware
Ah,
of my experience and don't attach the label as such to the I as much as I have in the past.
okay, okay. So this is good. This is good. So let's just say that, let's just call it the person that's diminishing, or you're becoming detached to the person, or detached from the person. So now I'm helping you. I'm separating everything that you're not from what you are. I'm saying, yes, there is an I here, but this I is not what you think it is.
Yeah.
Before, it was always this I as Simon, the I, Simon's problems, I, Simon's ambitions and goals, I, the person. But I'm showing you, well, the person is what we just looked. We just looked. The person's the body. The person is the feelings. The person is the thoughts. The person is the sense perceptions. That's the person. So we just kind of pushed it like in front of us and go, that's the person. That's who you thought you were. And we're looking and we're seeing how all of that is changing. It's fluctuating. It's coming and going, appearing and disappearing. It's not reliable. But we're also, okay, we push that away and we go, well, what is aware of all of that? And then we said, awareness. Awareness is aware of that. All of that is an experience. There's an experience and there's the awareness of the experience. So the person is an experience. Do you experience the body? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you experience feelings? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you experience thoughts? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you experience sense perceptions? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, what is experiencing all of that?
Awareness.
Ah. And who are you?
Awareness.
Yeah. Now you're seeing it's more of a what than a who. Because awareness, if I say, well, this awareness, how old is awareness?
Oh.
What'd you say? Old?
Oh. Yeah. Oh.
Okay. Well, like what age?
Go back to the start of the universe, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, or without age, right? Ageless,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Ageless. And we say, okay, well, what about awareness? Is it male or female?
No gender.
No gender. How tall is awareness? Is
No
awareness
height.
fat? Is it skinny?
Undefined.
Right? Undefined.
Yeah.
Does awareness, does it like have a religion, a nationality, a race?
No.
No. So awareness is not personal.
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, awareness is not personal.
No.
No. And so you're saying, so that's you. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what's your experience right now? Is this a disappointment? Is this
No.
some relief? Is this
I'm very relaxed about it.
you're very relaxed about it? Okay, yeah. Okay. So let's explore. So this is good. So this is like step one. Step one, who am I? Okay, step one. Well, let me just show you what you are not. And that's kind of like just the first kind of step. Okay, I'm not that. And it's like, okay, I'm awareness, but I don't really know about this awareness that much. It still feels almost new. because I haven't really explored it. Right? So this awareness is experiencing time, or is time experiencing awareness? Which one feels right? Are you aware of time, or is time aware of you?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, do you experience time?
Yes.
You experience time. Okay, good.
Yeah.
What about change? Your entire life has been constantly changing. The weather's changing. This body's changing. Feelings are changing. Relationships are changing. Jobs are changing. Where you're living is changing. Everything is changing. Is this true?
Yes.
Everything is changing. So you experience change. What about everything being temporary? Can you see that everything in your experience is temporary?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Can you see that everything in your experience is, another way to say, is impermanent?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Can you see that everything in your experience is name and form? A
Yes.
dog, a
Yeah.
tree, a house. These are all names. These are all forms.
Mm-hmm.
So that which is aware of all of this, all of these kind of observations, you could say at this point of the discovery is actually the opposite. That it's the timeless that's aware of time. It's the formless that's aware of form. It's the nameless that's aware of name.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this awareness, can we find any starting?
I don't think so.
Okay. Can you find an ending?
No.
No. So that which has no starting, that which has no ending, what do we say? It's eternal.
Yeah.
This awareness that I'm pointing to, that's here now, that's present. Does this feel like something that you created? Did we just develop this? Did we imagine this? Did we create it right now? Is this some exercise where we built it? Does it feel
No.
manufactured? Or does it just simply feel more like it just is? It's always been here.
It just is.
It just is. So you didn't create it. This awareness, is it actually it's manifested as something right now? Are you touching it?
I'm experiencing it.
You're experiencing it. Yeah. Is this experience of it? Is it formless? Is it invisible?
No,
Is
it
there,
has form.
it has form.
Yeah.
Okay. What does it feel like? How big is it?
At the moment, it feels like my lounge room.
It feels like your lounge room. Okay. Yeah. So it feels big. Okay. So is your lounge room, is that the limit of awareness? Is the lounge room, is that being experienced in awareness?
It's my current awareness, but it's not a
Okay.
total. But
Okay. So it feels big. It feels bigger than the body.
yeah.
Okay. So that's good that you're making that observation. Is the room being experienced in awareness? Are you aware of the room?
I'm aware of the room.
Okay. So the experience of the room, is that happening inside awareness or outside of awareness?
Inside.
Inside awareness. So therefore, awareness is bigger than the room. Where you said you're in Australia?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
Australia. So are you aware of Australia?
Yes.
So you're aware of Australia. So Australia's experience inside awareness or outside of awareness?
Inside.
Inside. So awareness is much bigger than your room.
Yes.
It's actually bigger than Australia.
Yes.
Now, you're experiencing the world. Is the world inside awareness or outside of awareness?
Inside.
Inside. So awareness is even bigger than the world.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that you've experienced is actually inside awareness. There's nothing that's outside of awareness.
I don't think so.
No. Everything that you're aware of, you're obviously aware of it. Therefore, it has to be inside awareness. It can't be outside awareness. So now, did that feeling go bigger than your room? You said, I'm experiencing awareness. I say, well, okay, so what does it feel like? Because you said it had a shape, but you said it had a form. And you said, well, it feels like my room. And I said, well, that's good. Now, does it feel even bigger than the room?
I can't say it does. No.
Okay. So this awareness that I'm pointing to, are you sure it has the texture of your room? Or is it that the awareness is without texture? It's formless. The room is a form.
The room is a form.
The
Awareness
room
is
is a
bigger
form.
than
Yes.
Yeah.
So the awareness is formless,
Mm-hmm.
but it contains the form.
Yes.
Yeah. Awareness is colorless, but it's full of color. Awareness has no shape or size. It's shapeless, but it's full of shapes. That room is a shape. So I'm pointing to it. Are you able to experience what I'm pointing to?
I think this is what I've had trouble with for a long time, is expanding this awareness.
You don't need to expand it. Just relax. Just
Right.
relax. Because that's where the mind tries to, let me try and grasp it. It can't. This action of trying to grasp it, where is it? Where you're aware that the mind is trying to grab it, right? Let me try and understand it. Let me try and hold it and just find it. Are you aware that that's happening mentally?
Yeah.
So isn't that activity, isn't that happening in awareness?
Yes.
Yes. Now, isn't that awareness watching that activity? Weren't you observing the mind? I'm giving you kind of a mental or an image here, but the mind was like, I'm trying hard to expand. I just want to grab it. So I can say, yeah, Mitch says he's pointing to it. Now I got it. I know what you're talking about. It's here. But can you see how the mind can't do that? Can you see how that is an activity that's happening in awareness?
Yes.
Yeah. You see that you're watching it happen, effortlessly watching it happen.
Yes.
There's nothing that can happen without you being aware of it. As soon as it arises, as soon as something happens, well, it's like you've effortlessly already watched it.
Yeah.
Instantly. So it just is. So what might feel like right now is it might feel like something that almost feels like it was always in the background that you're now just becoming aware of it. Does it feel like, something's in the background? You're like, now I'm aware of that. It's something that you're like overlooking. But you're realizing that it's always been here. It's always present. You're realizing that it's fundamental for experience. But what was happening was you were identified with experience. You were identified with experience, the body, experience feelings, experience thoughts, experience sense perceptions. And we just went on this exploration. I just showed you, well, that's not you. That's not you. That's not you. That's not you. And then you said, well, what am I then? Where am I? I said, well, what's watching this whole exploration? What's aware of this whole exploration? You said awareness. I go, well, isn't that you? But now it's like you've kind of come from the background. Now you're here. It feels like you're more here. Does it feel like you're more present?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Feel like you're more relaxed right now?
Yeah, I am very relaxed.
Very relaxed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you notice the breathing change to more relaxed breathing?
I haven't noticed it, but
okay. Does anything feel very uptight and tension right now?
No, I'm probably less tense now than I was an hour ago.
Okay, good. Good. Does it feel like you're thinking about a million things to do after this call?
No.
Or does it feel like you're fully present to what is? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you're not identified with the mind. The mind is what's running. The mind is an activity going like this. When it feels like you're busy and you're running and you're constantly stressed and uneasy, that's the fluctuation of the mind. That's what happens when we're identified with a thought. That's what feels like when you're trying to go somewhere. This awareness that's always here now, that's never been absent, can it actually go anywhere? Isn't it always here? The awareness that was aware of the 10th birthday, the first relationship, the first job, and now this conversation, did the awareness actually go anywhere? Or has it always just been here?
Yeah, it's always been here.
So what you're saying is, I have always been here. You're seeing that the experience is unfolding here now as this present moment. There's this present moment, which happens to be this conversation, and this is unfolding right here, right now. It's a temporary experience. After this conversation, there's no more conversation. It's temporary. It has a start, it has an end. And then it'll be no more, gone. But the awareness still remains. And that is you. So when we're not identified with the experience, we're not feeling like we're running, that we're not running around, that we're not going somewhere, that we're not moving in the world. It's actually the opposite. The world is moving in you. You as the non-personal awareness. You as the awareness without start, without end. The awareness that's eternal. You as the awareness that was never created, never born. And if the awareness was never born, the awareness can never die. So you, the immortal awareness. And can you find any sort of limit or boundary or border to you, awareness? Could you find one? No.
No.
So you couldn't find a limit. Therefore, you are limitless. That which is limitless, we say, is infinity. Now you see why you can't go anywhere. Where would infinity go? It can't go anywhere. It's everywhere. And you said you couldn't find a limit. You couldn't find a border. So what you're saying is you can't find where you start and where you end. You can't find something that says, this is not me. Here's where I end, and this is where something else starts. Because that would need a border, a boundary, a limit. But you never came up to this wall that says, all right, here's the end. This is the edge. Which means that there's nothing that's not you. Which means that you are everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all you. So all of this that I'm describing, that I'm just simply pointing, are you experiencing it?
No, not fully.
Well, we're exploring it.
Yes.
And I'm saying you're exploring, and I'm saying, go find me a border or a boundary. Are you looking for it?
I'm not looking for it. No.
What were you doing then?
I feel like I'm aware of everything.
Yeah.
And you can't find a border to it.
Okay, so because you looked. You're only able to report that you can't find a border because you actually were looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're only able to report that you can't find a starting or an ending because you're looking. Meaning you're exploring yourself. That's what we're doing right now. We're exploring our true nature. And you're genuinely exploring. So this is your direct experience of yourself. Your direct experience is that everything is within you. Your direct experience is that you can't find a border. You can't experience something that's not you. You haven't found this border that says, it's got this label that says, well, this is where you end. You couldn't find a limit.
No. But to experience that fully, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, it doesn't happen like right away, you could say.
No.
This is just, it's like the starting. We're just exploring here. But you're getting a little bit of a taste of it.
For sure. Yeah. So to deepen that, meditation is the key.
Yeah, like meditation is more is the key. It's more of this stuff that we're just exploring together. You could say like we'd be a little bit more meditative. But really that's what's needed. Is we need to continue to explore, where you're just getting, it's like you're so familiar with what you're not, but now you're not familiar with what you are. So that's, you see, there's this kind of shift that happens. Like, oh, okay, I was really familiar with the person, the personality, the preferences, the likes, the dislikes, the tendencies, that stuff. You're like, I knew all about that.
Yeah.
But now we explore, okay, well, it's like we're disidentifying with that. That's not me. We're letting go of that. This is me. Now it's about exploring this. It's about embracing this, loving this, getting interested in this. And that's what's key. Otherwise, it's kind of just a little Mitch takes you on a little journey, points something out, and you're like, cool, thanks for the journey. Let me go back to being interested in the person and the problems.
Yeah, we don't want to go back there.
No, we don't want it. No, I didn't think you did. I didn't think you did. This is where you start getting a kind of a glimpse, a taste of it. You're like, okay, yeah, I didn't find a border or boundary. I didn't find any limits. I didn't find a starting. I didn't find an end. I'm not experiencing the birth of this awareness. So then that becomes more and more you could say like more and more true to your experience. Undeniable. Because right now, this is where it's like, is there anything that you're doubting that we explored?
No, not at all.
No. Okay. If I'm saying, all right, at this point, let's wrap it up. But I don't believe anything that you just explored. What would you say?
So that's okay. I'm happy with this experience. And
okay, good. Yeah. It doesn't matter what I think about it, right? Because it's your experience. It's your direct experience. You don't have to prove it to anyone. It's you know it. You know it because you are it. There's no Simon as a person that's experiencing awareness. It's awareness that's aware of itself right now. And you're starting to notice some of those, that change, where it's like, yeah, you feel a little bit more expansive. Like you kind of just took off like a tight shirt.
Yeah.
You feel a little bit more open, a little bit more spacious, a little bit more restful, a little bit more relaxed, more content. Do you feel a little sense of freedom?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you notice what the freedom is from?
being more aware.
Yeah. What's the freedom
Uh,
from? What are you free from?
the associations,
Yeah.
putting the labels here, there, and everywhere,
Yeah.
getting attached to patterns, all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the more you explore into this, you start realizing it's actually the freedom from all of the bondage, the freedom from the person,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is the limitation.
Yeah.
So it's
And
the
that's what it,
freedom from who you think you are.
yes.
And this is what we all experience in deep sleep. Is because you're like, like I just want to. There's nothing that you love more than your sleep.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who's like your loved ones, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. Doesn't matter. Those people when it comes time to sleep, you're like, forget all of them. I love this sleep. Nothing I want more than my sleep.
Yeah.
Which really you're saying there's nothing I love more than disappearing. There's nothing I love more than being free from this person and their problems and all this stuff. That's what you're saying. And this is what we actually experience. This is where people want to get blackout drunk. They want to, you get like a taste of it, like in like an orgasm or jumping out of an airplane, like any of these adrenaline rushes. It's what you're actually seeking is the end of who you think you are.
Yeah.
And this is where when this discovery is made, then you're like, this is what I'm looking for. Because as the person, you're like trying to, how do I get freedom? The person, it's like wants freedom, but there's no freedom for the person. There's only freedom from the person. The person's trying to, how do I just get to the point where I don't have any problems? But notice how awareness has no problems. If I just say, are you aware right now? Are you aware?
Yes.
Undeniable. Now, this awareness, just simply be aware of being aware. Just rest as awareness. And notice how you're just simply being. You're not trying to be this. You're not trying to be that. You're not doing anything. You're not thinking about anything. You're just simply being. There's an awareness of being. You're just resting as yourself. And notice how there's absolutely no problems here.
It's very peaceful.
Very peaceful, profound peace. That's you. Notice how that peace is not separate from you. Notice how that peace is untouchable, unshakable. Notice how nothing can touch awareness. The world appears in awareness, but it's never touching awareness. Awareness is always beyond. Notice how any thoughts that arise can never touch awareness. Awareness is always observing the thoughts. Any pain that the body experiences, well, that actually doesn't touch awareness. Any uncomfortable emotions, even the scary, fearing emotions, fear, panic, terror, those can't touch awareness. Awareness is always beyond the emotion, experiencing the emotion. It's always free from experience. So notice how there's this peace, there's this freedom. Notice how there's this happiness. Right now, as awareness, are you suffering? No.
No.
So what we're all seeking is the end of suffering, which another way of saying it is happiness. It's only unhappiness that seeks happiness. It's only happiness that shares happiness. I'm just sharing happiness. It's our true nature. It's what you are. The happiness that you've been seeking your entire life is actually you. That's why you were not able to find it in living in different locations, a relationship, a career, experiences. You can't find it out there. Now, where is this happiness? Well, it's right here, isn't it? It's always been here.
Yeah.
And these are those paradoxes there. It's like it's like a big joke at this point. Like, that was a good one. The entire life I've been looking for happiness. I've been looking for peace. I've been looking for freedom. And this is the tricky one that is kind of hard because we have this concept of what love is, but this is actually love. That what you're talking to is you. I am you. This unity, that's love. That there's only one. There's not two. Everything is you. That's love. So this happiness, this love, this peace, this freedom, it's what you are. They're not emotions. It's your true nature. And by realizing that you are it, realizing it's always here now, realizing it's never absent, then it's you found everything that you've been looking for. Is this moment lacking anything? Do you need something? Do you need something else? You're not like, well, this is a great discovery, Mitch, but I kind of want to pop some popcorn and, have a cold beer. You're not thinking about adding anything to this. So you're saying it's already whole. It's already complete. It's already fulfilled. And this it that I'm just talking about it is actually you. And notice how you can just simply rest as yourself now. Mm-hmm. It kind of feels like you hopped off a treadmill. Does it not?
Yeah, there's a definite sense of peace.
Yeah. The whole like energy was kind of running. It's like, all right, what next? What can I add to myself to complete me? We're trying to add this experience, that person, this job, this money. anything to try and complete me, to make me feel whole. Because that's when we're identified with something that we're not, we feel separate. We feel as a separate entity. And because we feel as a separate entity, we're always going to feel limited. We're always going to feel lack. We're always going to want to complete ourselves, make ourselves feel whole. And that will never happen unless we realize that we are everything. By realizing that we are everything, that is completeness, that is wholeness, that is fulfillment. Which that's why it feels like it's like all that striving to do for more. How could you want anything more? You are everything. So then there's this deep sense of contentment, deep sense of rest. I don't need to go anywhere. There's nowhere I could go. I'm always here. I'm always now. I'm always present. So it's almost like you found yourself. But that's where the paradox is, the irony is like, well, where did I find myself? I found myself here now. And you go, well, how is that possible? How did I? So that's why it's called awakening. It's you're like waking up from this dream of being something you're not. And then see that you can't lose this because it's not separate from you.
So if we do return to old patterns, how do we get back to this state?
Well, one, it's not a state. It's not a state. See that states have a start and an end. Mm-hmm. See that states always change. So it's not a state. All states are actually within you. You could say like the mind is relaxed. That's just a state. The mind is busy. That's a state. The body is calm. That's a state. The body is soft. That's a state. Those are states. Those are changes. But what is aware of those? That which is stateless. So it's not a state. People think that that's kind of the chase of enlightenment. How do I get to this state that like is just permanent? It's like there's no permanent state. That which I'm pointing to, which is you, is beyond states. Stateless. So why do you ask? You say, well, what if I lose this? How do I come back here? What is it? What is it that's thinking that you're going to lose it? Why does that even come up?
If I return to say tomorrow, going to back to negative thinking, etc., how do I just rest back into this state, or this, I shouldn't say state, I rest back into this awareness? Is it just a matter of making that conscious choice?
It's not a conscious choice.
Yeah.
It's not a conscious choice. It's always here. It's choiceless. Mm-hmm. It's prior to choice. It just is. You say, let's create, I don't like making hypothetical things, but you brought it up. You go, what if I go back to negative thinking? So who's going back to negative thinking?
Awareness.
But awareness is aware of negative thinking.
The mind.
So it's only by identifying with the thoughts that then you get identified with the negative thinking. But notice how there's the negative thinking that will arise. There's the positive thinking that's going to arise. But what is aware of the negative and the positive? That which is beyond negative and positive. The negative thinking, the positive thinking, that's happening in you, awareness.
Yeah.
So it's just by just seeing that's always the case. This is always the truth. This is always the fact, is that you are awareness. That anything that's happening, how do you know that that's happening? Oh, because I'm aware.
Yeah.
Oh, how much effort did I need to be aware of that? No effort at all. It was always the case. So what happens on these calls, you could say, is by looking into this is great. Like we went on that exploration, it's the thoughts and the feelings that are basically like concealing our true nature. And what happens is it's like everything, it's like I just kind of push it away. And then you see it. Is that you're not seeing it because it's what's seeing. Right? That's why you can't actually, there I am. You can't like pick it up and hold it. It's not an object. The mind only knows objects. But that which you are it's the pure subject. The body is an object, right? There's the body, it's changing. Well, I'm experiencing the body. That's the object is the body. Even feelings more subtle than the body. The feeling, anger, I can objectify anger. Even more subtle than feelings. Like these sensations, the sense perceptions, warm, cold, bitter, sour, these tastes, right? What you're seeing, all these things, they're objectifiable. Even more subtle than that, thought, it's objectifiable. This thought is coming and going. You see the thoughts like objects that are appearing. I'm watching this thought come. I'm watching this thought go. Notice how you can only experience one thought at a time. Even more subtle than the thought is attention. The attention is going towards thoughts. The attention is going towards the body. The attention is going towards feelings. Now, what happened was the attention now returned back to its source, which is you. Attention is now relaxed. And when it's relaxed, it comes back to you. So you could say you're attending yourself. That's how you're able to make this discovery. That's how you're able to explore. You're attending your true nature. That's how we're able to go on this adventure together. Obviously, metaphorically, we're just talking to make it fun. But that's you're exploring.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. The attention can go back, but by just simply just relaxing the attention, it's like, there I am. You could say with practice, maybe you don't need any practice. Maybe you do need some practice. I don't know. You'll have to let me know tomorrow. There's this sense that I can just rest in myself, and then you start noticing where there's the tendency to identify, where there's the tendency, the old conditioning that comes up, being identified with this and that, and that just comes up for you to see. But the biggest thing is just resting as yourself, because that's that's the source. That's what empowers everything else. So yeah, it's never like a one shot kind of deal.
No.
But you should get a sense of this is like you explored, you got a glimpse, you got a taste of your true nature, right? And you got your experientially, it's your direct experience. There's nothing, I didn't ask you to believe anything. There's no beliefs going on here. Right? So, and if it's always here now, and if that's what you are, then no, you can't lose it. You can't misplace it. Notice how you didn't go anywhere. You're like, how do I get back to here, this state? If the negative thoughts come, how do I get back to here? Where did we go? You didn't go anywhere. There's nowhere to get back to. Right? And it's just even, it's so, the mind is very tricky because even that, I'll give you kind of the heads up. Even that's some sly trick that the mind plays right now. You're aware of it right now. It sneaks in the back door and it's like, yeah, what about tomorrow when I start negative thinking? How do I get back to here, this state? It's so like, it tries to be so innocent and sly. And it's like, who's saying that? Who's this I that wants to get back to here? Because as far as I'm concerned, I am this. How do I come back to here? That's the mind saying that, right? It's like, when I like to hang on to the negative thoughts and play around with the negative thoughts, well, how do I get back to this state? But notice how you're aware of that. Notice how you're watching that. You're watching that kind of that thought, that narrative, that voice. You're watching that activity, which is projecting future, which is projecting tomorrow. Tomorrow, when I start the negative thinking again, tomorrow when I'm without Mitch, how do I get back here? Notice how you're watching that. So what are you? Are you that voice that's creating the hypothetical future about tomorrow, which is not true? Or are you witnessing it?
Play the witness, be the witness.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the practice is this is the doing and that's the being. So you just be, and you'll witness all of that doing activity. And it becomes more and more clear that what you are and what you're not, and also allows you to kind of, you could say like, remain as what you are without being so quick to jump in and get identified again.
Yeah.
Because that's what kind of veils yourself, you could say. That's where you kind of lose yourself. You don't never lose yourself, but it has this appearance of losing yourself, getting lost in the mind, trying to become a character, becoming a person.
Yeah.
But if we're always just, you can say simply resting as ourself, or it's not right to say it like this, but coming back to ourself constantly, then it's just like that's the practice. And then you could say you become more and more established as what you are. It's like you've been practicing for like 30 years, practicing being a person. So there's a lot of like ingrained conditioning there. So it's this natural kind of pull to kind of pull you down into like this, the dream. Whereas like now you experience this opposite kind of pull, which is a lift. It's more of what you would say like grace, that here's what you actually are. Here's the freedom. Here, realize what you always have been. Right. And it's trying to kind of pull, but it's like that kind of the mind, it's like a dream machine. And it's like it won't let you go so quickly in a sense. But no, it's good. How'd you like it? Was it a disappointing discovery? Did you like what you discovered?
No, I thoroughly enjoyed the process, and yeah, I felt really relaxed at the end of it, and definitely felt some peace um, at the end there. There was, yeah, I think it was a really worthwhile time.
Good. Awesome. So yeah, that's good. Well, keep like check in with me tomorrow or the later on in the week or whatever day we are. And then yeah, anything that kind of comes up if you
Yeah,
have any questions or want some more clarity, there's more that we need to explore and stuff, which becomes more and more clear. It has to become crystal clear,
yeah,
essentially. But yeah,
yeah.
that's good. Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. Does anybody else have a question? All these they were dropping like flies here. That's all right. We Rasmin, Mateo, James. Is there anybody else here? 6. Doesn't show. Who else is here? Oh, that's it. Luke is still here listening. Luke, were you guys able to follow along? Was it good? A good refresher, or does it feel like okay, Mateo, that's new to you? Or does it feel like been there, done that, don't need to do this?
Good,
What's your
good refresher. And then the last question was really eye-opening. Like, well, it's the question I had I never asked is, you kind of see it as yourself sliding back into the state, right? And then you said it kind of summed up perfectly. It's not a state. It's almost just a reflex of you kind of just going into a habitual version of identifying with the self and not just
yeah.
relaxing into what you've discovered.
Yeah. So that's the thing. That's where like you guys that have been doing this with me for a little bit of time here, that's where you have to be use like the word commitment. It's more than commitment. It's actually devotion. You have to be devoted to this discovery. You have to be this is the truth. I just pointed out all the lies, and then you see what's once you point out all the lies and you see that this is not what it is, then what is what's remaining is the truth. But you have to be devoted to the truth, meaning you have to be devoted to yourself. It's this extreme interest, this extreme commitment, this extreme dedication, it's love. You have to love the truth more than the lies. That's the only way to live as this. So when it's like, oh, cool, we're doing the Monday night. Yeah, Mitch is going to do that little dinky exploration here with someone new. Cool, been there, done that. You're like, but I really like my dream. And then you go back to the identification. It just doesn't it doesn't work if you just do this like once a week kind of thing. It's like you have to. It's being aware, resting as that awareness more and more. At the start, it feels like there's some kind of effort needed. But like I kind of mentioned this, it's like you're washing dishes and you're just being. You're not trying to think about what you got to do next. You're just aware of the washing of dishes, but that background peace, that background happiness, that background love, that background freedom, it just permeates the experience. Then it's like there's nothing more freeing than washing dishes. You couldn't be any happier washing these dishes. You love washing dishes. Washing dishes is the most peaceful thing on the earth. You're at so much rest and relaxation washing dishes. You're so fulfilled by washing dishes. That's where you then permeate everything that you're doing. Your true nature, it just infuses everything. But if you're caught up in the experience, then you're always going to feel like you're like, where is that peace? Where is that freedom? I'm looking for it somewhere. But it's not even a practice, because a practice is something that you do, but we got to speak of it like that. That's the practice, is always coming back to yourself, seeing where you're getting caught up, looking at those different kind of emotions that are popping up, the different thoughts that are popping up, and simply being with it. But yeah.
Run.
Sorry?
I've got to head off.
Yeah, okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
Good. I'm glad you liked it. Okay. Chat with you later, Simon.
Thanks,
Take care.
Simon.
Bye.
Yeah.